On Galidorn back again, playing Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, so before we get started on the things I want to talk about today, I'm just going to show you how the CBC, the last CBC from last week, finished up. I want to give kudos to all my clanmates, so we'll check that out right now. Alright, so you can see here, we did pull it out and win. Actually very impressive victory, about over 500,000 points. Got all the accessories, of course.
Of course!
And once again, don't really think that I'm going to be using any of these.
But maybe.
Yeah, I'll just sell them all off. Yeah, 5-star accessories, even if they're, decent sets, are not really good for me anymore.
Trash, bro!
And of course, we did get to milestone 10, so we're pretty consistently hitting the milestones now, all the milestones of the CBC, which is good. Good progression for the clan. Myself, a little pissed off here. As you can see, 172 out of 180 on milestone 9, and I was going to go for 180, but god damn it, I fucking fell asleep, okay? Because, Raid with their reset times really fucks the North American players over, because it resets, like 4 o'clock in the morning, I think, around where I am. So I had planned to go into the Forge and really, do a lot of stuff. I mean, it would have been easily attainable. I fell asleep. So, yeah, I missed out on that. So anyway, these crit damage, yeah, crappy artifacts. But a lot of energy there, which is really good, and a book and some chickens, so very good. Now we'll just look at my guys here. Once again, as always, shout out to all these guys. Particular Idjit there.
I'm an expert in nameology.
He's a new player, and he gave me a run for my money, He kept pushing me to go farther, so good on him. And for everybody else, also, great job overall. Everyone's really improving, really working hard at the game, and I'm very happy with my clan, all my clan members, and all the progression. And just so you know, we didn't poach anybody here.
You're a good person.
I did not send any invites to this clan. Alright, so just in case anyone from that clan is watching, we did not take your players, and I pledge to never do that.
Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture.
We try and poach CBC opponents. Now, we're going to be looking at maybe moving up a tier. I think it's 2.2 million points that we need to score, I think, around there. Over 2 million points to get up into tier 2. So that's going to be our next focus. Alright, so the two main things I want to talk about today are the ongoing Hunter's Path, because when I did my last video, they hadn't announced the Hunter's Path. As you saw, I looked on Plarium playing in the news, and there was nothing for Hansel and Gretel. There was no path or anything. And then they just sandwiched it in there.
I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
With maybe a couple days notice, if that. Can't really remember. That was not cool on their part.
Not cool, man. Scary, but not cool.
As far as I'm concerned. And, the whole thing about the Hansel-Gretel fusion has been pretty lame, to say the least. It's obvious that Plarium had no heart for this fusion. I don't know if it was intentional, they just didn't care about it. But they really gave no way to get Hansel. And really, the two champions on their own are not all that great. They work together great, I would say, I guess. I've seen some people doing stuff on the test server and stuff. But the only reason why I went after Gretel in the first place was because I was kind of fat on resources, and I wanted to do it because I'd taken a lot of stuff off, and I did want to participate. And then, of course, you saw that I pulled Gretel basically on the first day of the fusion, and that was it for me.
That's it, we're in this!
So what we have now is this Hunter's Path, okay? So after giving nothing to get Hansel,
Nothing!
and I will reiterate that, the things they did to get Hansel, I mean, you could pull him straight up, yeah, but I mean, that's just like any other champ. But remember, what they did was they gave a progressive chance in the primal shards that was 2 times legendary only. So something that nobody should have been participating in.
Shut your mouth.
Unless you were, super fanatical player or Kraken or anything like that. And then they gave a boosted chance in the active summon pool.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Which again is just for Krakens. The 90% of the people would not have had enough of those prism crystals to be able to pull enough to get him. And if you did get him, say pull enough, you're 1 or 2, because I would think that that's probably the vast majority 90+% maybe of the player base would have had no more than 2 of those. You can't build them up, of course, either. They just get taken away from you when the event ends.
I'm just gonna take this.
So yeah, he had the boosted chance in that, which is really nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
And then they had the champion chase where if you won your tournament group, you would get him.
Is that it?
Which is just ridiculous. So it's telling me that this fusion was half-hearted and was really not intended to be so much a Halloween fusion as to be something to decimate people's resources as they're coming up into the Christmas fusion. And shortly we'll get to the next fusion that they parachuted in the last few days with a ridiculous short amount of workup time right after this fusion. So basically doubling up on that gambit of getting people to spend resources before the Christmas fusion. Anyway, we'll just take a look at this path. And it's just pretty standard resources until, of course, you get down to the more expensive stuff. And I'm not even going to go through to calculate out what you need to get these 5-star souls.
Something he's too lazy to explain.
Because honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to use Gretel at all, so why expend a lot of resources to get the 5-star soul? And basically nobody has Hansel. Some people do, but most people don't. 50,000 of these points each to get there. Like I said, I'm not going to calculate how much it takes to get down there. But ridiculous. I'm not summoning any champions beyond, summoning food and stuff like that. I'm not upgrading any champions beyond, doing my normal food running and preparation for upcoming fusions. Which I'm not counting again. I will reiterate this next fusion coming up. We'll review the guy, but I don't even care. No, sorry, he's a no-go. Tell you that right off.
Let's be smart and bring it off.
So in doing that, I got a day left. I think I can probably pick up another 500 points to get this Mortal Soulstone, but that's it. And if I don't pick this up, well, no big deal. I'll just content myself with, this energy and these gems here. Okay, so as we see, Fusion warm-up event going on. Started like 2 days ago, and the Fusion starts Monday. So here, we'll look in here.
Now. You're looking at now, sir.
In the news. Okay, like this is typical. There's not even anything in the news about this fusion. Like how ridiculous is that? Let's check Plarium play. Okay, so we see in here that Stokk the Broken is in fact in here, even though it's not in the news. So it's this guy. I'll review his kit. I've seen people talk about him, some kind of special poisoner or something. What is good, he is a fragment event. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend to everyone to just pursue this guy for mod fragments. Do not decimate your resources for the Christmas fusion by going for this guy. Little ticked at some of the content creators out there, saying, oh, this guy's good, he's worth going after, whatever. They should not be promoting this to the player base, all right? And yeah, I know that that's their job, so they want to get excited and do fusions and, get people excited about it, but let's be honest, most of the big content creators, their audiences are the top 10% of the game. Right? Fanatical players who play it all the time, big spenders and whatnot. And for them, yeah, sure, they got the resources to go after this guy. But for all of us down in the trenches, I'm a military vet, and I've experienced, what goes on there from both, at the higher levels and, down with the rank and file. And so, when you see a lot of what the content creators are doing, it's kind of like, the higher levels, your directors, your generals, higher up in the departments and stuff, making policies and, strategic decisions and things like that. A lot of times, honestly, it does not make sense when it filters down, and it makes the lives harder, actually, of the people on the ground or on the work floor.
The fuck is he talking about?
So that's all I gotta say about that.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So any of you guys watching me, I know not a lot of you do, but don't go for this. I'll review them, but don't go for this except to get mod fragments. Because these past 2 fusions, events, activities, whatever you want to call them, I think are solely to get people's resources depleted for the upcoming Christmas fusion. And just a message to Raid here and Plarium. You better make the Christmas fusion champ awesome, okay? You better make him awesome. If you make him awesome and you give us a good fusion event, a lot of people will take you back into their good graces. Maybe they don't care. Maybe Aristocrat is trying to milk as much money out of Plarium and Raid before the sale goes through next year. Maybe that's it. Having said all that, let's take a look at this guy's kit. Okay, so here he is. So as I normally do, I always look at the passive first, and then I work my way backwards into the A1, get in all the good stuff first. Okay, so the aura, ally speed in all battles. Okay, another one. 20%, that's fairly common for an all battles. Okay, rigged to blow, so damage inflicted by poison and HP burn debuffs will ignore block damage and unkillable. So that's pretty decent, that's unique, all right. Whenever allies attack enemies with destroyed max HP, increases damage dealt by 10%. I'm assuming that's cumulative. Doesn't say how much it stacks up to, though. Is it an infinite stack? Oh, man. If it is, if there's no cap on it, oh, people are going to exploit that big time. And again, having said that, yeah, for all of us down in the trenches here, the Great Unwashed, 90%, we're not going to be the ones exploiting that, all right? If there are multiple champions on the team with the skill, only one will... Okay, whatever, right? That's just standard for everybody. Okay, so A3 attacks all enemies. 80% chance of placing 2 5% poisons on all enemies for 2 turns. Any targets under HP burn debuff places 3 poisons. Okay, so looking at this, he's not the burner, but he has the poisons. Okay, so he's got poison placement that rivals, someone like Bad L. So pairing this guy, say with the Drang, would be amazing.
And that was amazing!
So I have a Drang, so if I got this guy, I could do some shit with him. But mostly on principle, not going to do it.
Didn't want to do it.
I mean, because, yeah, he's unique, but again, he's a damage dealer in, a roundabout way. Through debuffs. Again, with the, if they have HP burn, also places a weaken on them, so they will take more damage. And also places 2 continuous heal buffs on all allies. So yeah, this is an upgraded Bad L ability. On a 5-turn cooldown, books to 3. Okay, so it's a better ability than Malice. However, Bad L has been power crept quite a bit, so he's not what he used to be.
Old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be.
So what I'm saying is he's not going to be replacing Bad L at the higher levels, because a lot of people have already replaced Bad L. Alright, having said all that, let's go on to the A2. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Okay, so we've got 2 AoEs, so good. So he could also be a stun set, Anyone who has multiple AoEs or an AoE under A1, always good candidate for a stun set. I mean, adding control with the damage, I mean, you get people stunned and they're still taking damage when their turn goes off and not being able to do anything. Yeah, alright, good. I'm not arguing that this guy's not good. Is he game-breakingly good? Gotta have? No, he's not that good. Okay, so the first hit instantly activates all poison and HP burn debuffs. So he's an activator. So this is a Dark Kale skill, who also activates poisons and HP burns. And then he activates the continuous heal. Can't remember which other champion activates continuous heal. 1 or 2 of them out there. I can't remember what they are now. So yeah, he blows up enemies and then heals allies. Second hit is 75% chance of destroying each target's max HP by 3% for each poison and HP burn activated. And then fills the turn meters of all allies by 20%. So you know what? I think that he does have arena use. For sure, because the destroying of the max HP isn't anything for Hydra, because he could also be a Hydra champ, I'm thinking. Although poison's not such a great thing in Hydra, but HP burn is, but he doesn't put the HP burn. Anyway, so that's 5, books down to a 3 turn. And then finally is A1, 1 enemy 2 times, and he can extend poisons and HP burns. Alright, so this guy is a master poisoner. I would say probably the best poisoner in the game coming in. And you pair him alongside a reliable HP burner, and yeah, he can be doing a lot of damage. So I'll give him that. This guy is good, but I'm gambling that the Christmas fusion is going to be something better, hopefully. Anyway, I'm not going for this guy, and it's more almost on principle for what Plarium has done with it. And I do think, yeah, they've set this up along with the Gretel fusion to take away and make a lot of money.
We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
From people over the Christmas fusion. Definitely better than Hansel and Gretel, but the way they've gone about it, not happy with that. Okay, so another rant video. I'm sorry guys, I said a long time ago that I was going to try and avoid that, but however, the way they've done these past two fusions together is not something that I like very much. And my recommendation is to ignore this fusion.
We've got a turd in the punch bowl.
It's exploitable, but again, only for the top 10% of players. And maybe CCs out there, you know, maybe you should take that angle a little bit more. Recommend it to, you know, who your top audience is, but then say, hey guys, maybe hang back. Anyway, enough of my ranting on Plarium and other CCs and stuff, and I apologize to anybody out there who's offended by it. But that's just my view on things. And me as a content creator, yeah, I do hope one day to become successful with it, of course. But I pledge to you to always remain in the casual free-to-play sphere and always carry the banner for all of us down here slugging it out in the mud. I pledge to keep playing the game the way I've always played it, and give you my honest opinions and my insight on what is the best way for a casual free-to-play or a low spender, you know. Because if you don't spend much in this game, you might as well call yourself casual free-to-play. You got a little bit more of an edge, but when it comes to taking on, you know, the real spenders in this game, it's not a big thing. So anyway, having said all that, hope that your optimism continues despite what I've said here today. Hope that you are enjoying the game. I hope that you are excited for what might be coming up in the Christmas time with the Fusion and Raid and in real life. Hope that, hey, if you do decide to go for Stokk, that you're able to do it and that you do get them. Not crapping on you if you do. Hope that all is well in your life. Hope that you, your family, and friends are all well at this time of the year. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.